Chris from the Reticent here. Um, I wanted to do a quick, or I'll try to make a quick video to kind of address two things. Number one, I wanted to give you an update about the band and the new album and all that jazz, and also to express a bit of gratitude that I wanted to do uh, as close to face as I can with you guys. So, um, first things first. The album is done. On the eve of goodbye is finished, and we just this week completed the master, and it's been a pretty amazing journey to go on. When I was recording it and kind of just like living at a studio for 2 weeks and really, doing everything I can for 10, 12 hours a day. I was really kind of struggling there by the end because I was barely sleeping, and I was having just awful nightmares about the subject matter of the album. And it was when we finished laying down tracks, I was a little concerned that maybe I didn't get everything out that I needed to, because I was still kind of wrestling with a lot of this stuff. But I think that after some time passed and everything, it did end up being extremely therapeutic for me, and I feel like I've gotten a lot off my chest that I've been kind of carrying around for a decade. And it was a really amazing experience to be able to finally let go of some of that stuff. And so there that is. A handful of people have gotten to hear it so far, mostly friends and family. It's a pretty personal thing, which is kind of odd, I guess, for anybody that's listened to my music up to this point. Of course it's personal. Everything I do is always that way, but a few friends, a few family have gotten to listen to it, and the feedback has all been enthusiastically positive, and a couple people have shed some tears at it, which not that I'm happy to have bummed anybody out, but I'm glad that the emotional effect is there in the album, and that people are connecting with it, even if it's not my specific story. There's something that they're grabbing onto, and if it's bringing that out in them, then it makes me think maybe I did something right. So that's all at least encouraging. So as for what's the next step, now is the tough part for me, because this is the part where I have the least amount of control. And as you can imagine, a guy who likes to go in the studio and play every instrument himself and write all the music and do all this stuff, it's difficult for me to cede control to fate, as it might be. So it's a stressful thing. But right now we're beginning the process to try to shop the album to some labels, and just putting it out there, seeing if anybody has any interest in picking up the album, picking up the band, and putting it out there. One way or another, I want to assure you that the album is going to be released. I know Heaven and Hell Records has already said they will put it out. If I just say the word, we're good to go. But they also, much like me, want to see if the Reticent can get to another level. I know that for some of you guys it may be hard to kind of understand what we're talking about, but right now you can get any of the albums I've done thus far on iTunes or whatever, and you can look me up very easily, so it seems like the music is out there. It seems like the Reticent is, known around the world, and I'm on Spotify or this, that, or the other thing. But um, a label, an active label, can actually do some things that I'm just not going to be able to do. And sometimes you just need, there are people out there that might really connect with what you're doing, but they're never going to know about you uh, if it's not presented to them in the right way. And so that's what we're looking for, is hopefully a label that will get behind kind of the weird stuff that I'm doing here, and may have an in with this kind of certain group of people that are really going to grab onto what the Reticent's about. So we're hoping to hear something soon, but there's no way to know exactly how soon or anything that'll come about, because it's all right place, right time. They got to have the money to sign new artists. I got to get the right person to hear the right stuff. So it's I wish, you don't know how bad I wish I knew kind of how to say, well, it's going to be exactly 2 months from now, it's all going to work out. But we'll keep you abreast and do the best we can. So that's where we are right now as far as the album is concerned. On to what I consider the more important thing, and I know I'm going on too long like I always do, but I wanted to say thank you to everybody viewing this. I owe more than I'll ever be able to repay to every person that's listened to my music, or come to a show, or checked out a song online or something like that, commented on the Facebook, liked something, subscribed to the YouTube page, any of that kind of stuff. It really means more than the world to me. And I wish I had the words to be able to express the incredible depth of the gratitude I feel towards you. So I hope that seeing me say it may mean more than just some social media status update that says, hey guys, thanks for supporting. Which I know I do that kind of thing, but I hope you know that I'm always sincere. When I say thank you so much for supporting this project, I really do mean it from the bottom of my heart. I do also want to extend some personal thanks to the people that have allowed all this to happen. First and foremost, the folks that donated to the Kickstarter, that enabled me to go to the studio and have this experience, and hopefully to share something with you. I don't even know what to say. I'm so grateful that you guys entrusted me with such generous donations to see this through. And I hope that any of the extra time it's taking to make sure everything's perfect and all that stuff, I hope that you will find it to be worth it. And when you do hear the album, I hope that you feel like you made a good investment. I'm extremely grateful to my producer and now my friend Jamie King, who allowed me to do exactly what I needed to do for this album. And he was absolutely amazing to work with, and I'll be in his debt as long as I live, as far as I'm concerned, because he gave me the conduit through which I could do exactly what I needed to do. I also want to say thank you to Tommy Rogers, who is the guy who got me hooked up with Jamie. So if it weren't for Tommy, I wouldn't have gotten the opportunity in the first place. So, and also, a huge thanks goes to everybody that was directly involved in making this album, to give it as much of a complete experience as I could. After I wrote everything and got everything worked out, I reached out to a lot of people to come and add some other flavors to the record that were beyond what I could do. So um, my first thank you goes out to Amanda from the unfortunately now defunct band Tattermask, but she not only lent her voice to narration, but also to some outstanding vocals on what I consider the most important track on the album. And she just did an amazing job, as did all of my narrators, Justin Green, C.D. Hathcock, Carmen Hathcock. They all were amazing and added layers to this album that I won't. I mean, you're just going to have to hear it, but you'll see what I mean. My good friends, uh, Nick Kinney, or I guess I should say Dr. Kinney, but he's always going to be Nick to me, and Matt Paranak and Andrew Lovett for coming in and doing some outstanding work with the wind parts, brass and woodwinds and everything. Especially Matt, who was doing a lot of stuff on the fly for me as I would get some weird idea, or Jamie would get some weird idea, and he would just roll with it. So um, it's really good to have friends that are, so much more talented than you are, so you can just turn to them and say, hey, what if we did this? And they can just do it. So all those incredible people really, really, made the album come together. Even if they only, did something for 30 seconds, that 30 seconds was really important. And I'm extremely grateful. Further than that, the guys in the Reticent, the guys in my band that have helped me take this thing live over the years, because this all started and has kind of revolved around what I do and create and all this stuff, they don't always get, quite that much spotlight. And so I want to, in this instance, I want to say thanks to my bass player Cliff, who's been with me for a very, very long time. He's been with me longer than anybody else, and he has somehow found a way to put up with me longer than anybody else ever has. So I owe a great deal to Cliff. Also to the many drummers I've had, Trey and Dizzy and Brent, who is with us again. He was with us before, and then he wasn't. Now he is again. So, and that's the guy who, me and him go back to the college days. And, he's always been just a really cool, down-to-earth guy. And I'm always very, very grateful to him for his optimism with this project, because he's, had to kind of talk me up sometimes when I didn't want to do something anymore or something like that. So he's helped this a lot more than he'll ever realize. And the many guitar players we've had. But Rob Van Ham started out with us and was with us for a long time, and he's kind of gone off and gotten himself a real life and a wife and all sorts of other cool things. And I wish him the best, and I'm always going to be grateful to him for sticking with me through those really kind of awkward first few years, trying to figure out exactly what was this going to be. And Robert Kearns, so we went from Rob to Robert. Robert Kearns, who was just an amazing shredder guitar player, who was just outstanding. He was way too good to play with, someone like me. So he's got his own project that he's in now, where he's just, lighting fires, of course, which is just what he does. But man, he was just, the coolest guy to hang out with and talk to. And I really enjoyed playing shows with him. So, I'm grateful to him. And of course, our newest guitar player, Isaac, who is just a ball of energy and positivity, and he's an awesome guy. And I'm really, really glad that he's come into this project, and I'm really grateful to him for all he's bringing to this and all he's willing to try. and he's certainly kind of rejuvenating me just being around him. So um, I guess that's all I've got. I'm sure I've talked way too long, and I don't know, maybe I'll cut up the video to try to spare you some of this. But if you made it to the end, again, thank you for everything you've ever done for this project. Even if you've never, bought a t-shirt or come to a show or anything, if you're just watching this, it really does mean the world to me. I hope that your holidays, as this is being released on Thanksgiving, I hope your holidays are wonderful. I wish you the best. So please be safe, be kind to each other, and hopefully I'll see you soon.